Alright, so today we got Eric Forex, a mutual friend of me and Apollo, and we're just going to go into deeper detail about Muslim life and Islam. Alright, and the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. So we're just going to start there. So who was Elijah Muhammad?
Elijah Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. He is the Elijah of the Bible. And he is the one that was prophesied by the prophets to be raised up by God in person in the last days, who is Master Farad Muhammad. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the man that he chose to be our leader, teacher, and guide to all of us, the so-called Negroes here in North America.
So you believe, or Islam believes, that Farad Muhammad is God?
Yes.
Am I hearing that right? Okay.
The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that Master Farad Muhammad is God in person. For the last 6,000 years, we have been worshiping other than the true and living God, and we have been worshiping our own ideas of God and God as a spirit. And so Master Farad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Allah is God in person and the Son of Man that was predicted by all the prophets of God to come in the last days in person.
So you believe in God, but Master Farad Muhammad is the man form?
Is God in person.
The
one that was predicted by all the prophets. Jesus, including all the prophets, that he will come in the last days to bring about the universal change.
So you believe Jesus was a prophet?
Yes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that Jesus was, of 2,000 years ago, was a prophet of God, just like any other prophet, such as Abraham, Moses, etc., etc.
Okay, so yes, were they you believe they were fair skinned? Because there's a lot of research that leads to that. Let's be honest, they weren't white. You feel me? They had a little color to their skin.
Referring to
the prophets, Jesus.
Yes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches in his book Message to the Black Man, us in America, that all the prophets were of the black nation, the Asiatic black nation, and they all taught Islam.
Asiatic?
Yes.
So that's Asians? Is that
Asia,
Asians?
meaning he teaches that Asia is the oldest and original name for the planet Earth. So the original people of the earth are Asiatics.
Okay.
Just like people in China are Chinese. People in India are Indians. So if the original name for the planet is Asia, then the people that belong to that planet are Asiatics.
Oh, okay. So you believe in Pangea? That we were all one continent at one time?
Yes. Yes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that the planet and the continents were separated. Yes.
How? Does it say how?
Well, just like you got North America and South America.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Gulf of Mexico, and all that is really one continent, but then it was split up into different parts.
No, I mean, like, yeah, how's it split? How were they split up?
Well, how it is today on the map is how it's split up.
No, I mean, my bad. How did it happen?
Well, that was from the white man. He divided up all land masses and named them after.
So the white man separated the continent?
No, he's saying like it wasn't tectonic. What is it?
Like
did the plates shift?
People say it was tectonic plates and all that. How did it
broke up the land?
Oh, physically, actually happening. Well, the messenger doesn't teach exactly on that. as far as it happening physically. But he does teach us that the white man, he put the barriers and named the continents and divided the continents from each other. And I do know that. I can say that.
Okay. So when did the Muslim, is it a religion? Would you call it a religion or?
The messenger teaches us that Islam, as taught by him, that Islam is the very nature of the black man and woman, and that it was given to others in the form of a religion for them to follow, or try to follow. Like you have white people that are Muslims by faith, and we give them Islam in the form of a religion for them to follow, which we already have by nature.
So there is no beginning, it's by nature.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammed teaches that Islam started with God himself.
Okay.
And the Holy Quran backs him up, excuse me, and says that Islam is the very nature of God and his people. And that's why we are Muslims by nature, because we are directly from him. So that's his nature. So that's our nature. It's not a religion for us.
So you believe we're
just
all
like a web, a spider,
right.
A web comes out of a spider.
Gotcha.
Islam comes out of us.
Okay.
It's like in our DNA.
Okay.
Which means peace, righteousness. That's our nature. That's the nature of the black man. Peace. How you doing? Peace, bro. You see, that's just our nature. It's peace, righteousness. Islam.
Okay. So what got you into Islam and when did you start?
I would say around over 10 years ago, I first was introduced to Orthodox Islam. And about 3 years later, 2 or 3 years later, then I was introduced to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammed, which is Islam taught by him, that he was given by Master Farad Muhammad. And ever since then, I've been following the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay.
Islam taught by him, that is.
All right. So you want to go into further detail about any of the other teachings that you've learned?
Well, there is no other teachings. The foundation, I'm a follower of his teachings, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad was taught supreme wisdom by Master Farad Muhammad, which is God in person, which supreme wisdom means the most high wisdom there is. And so it covers all. It covers 300, it covers everything, basically, the science of everything in life. People, the universe. He gives us everything that you could possibly ask is in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Okay, so for example, like, are you allowed to eat meat, or are we supposed to eat meat, you believe?
Oh, okay. That would be the Dietary Laws of Islam. And the messenger has 2 books, How to Eat to Live, Book 1, and Book 2, From God in Person, Master Farad Muhammad. And in those books, the Dietary Law, he teaches us that we are not designed to digest meat. And meat is not for human consumption. But if we are going to eat meat, that we are to eat the best of meats available to us. And he teaches us that to eat 1 meal a day and to fast regularly, or to eat 1 meal every 2 or 3 days.
So we're only supposed to eat a meal every 2 or 3 days?
Yes. Once you are of the age of 16, the messenger teaches us that your body takes 24 to 36 hours to digest one meal. So if it takes 24 hours to 36 hours to digest one meal, then why do you need more than one meal? Excuse me. Then you're eating too much, and then you. That's what happens when you get. That's what makes you sick and obese and shortens your lifespan. So he teaches us to eat one meal a day, no matter what your job is. It is sufficient for you as an adult.
And we're really supposed to be vegetarians, but if you eat meat, eat the best of meats.
Eat the best of meats. But if you can't stay away from the meat, stay away from the meat. But yes, again, if you are going to eat meat, eat the best of meats.
So what would be the best of meats?
Available to you at that time. If you're shopping at the grocery store and you're going to eat some meat, you get the best meat available at the market. You see what I'm saying?
Alright.
Whatever's available, the best that's available to you at that time. Yeah.
Okay. And you said you don't eat peanuts either?
No, in How to Eat to Live, the messenger teaches us that peanuts are for the digestion of animals such as squirrels, and that is too hard on our digestive system, and that it shortens our lifespan.
Peanuts?
Yes, not just because it's like poison or anything, it's just that our stomach or digestive systems is not strong enough to digest. It's too hard on our digestive systems, and the animal's digestive system is a lot stronger, and it's easier for them to digest nuts versus us, and it shortens our lifespan.
Okay, and I know you said we're only supposed to eat a meal every 2 or 3 days. I mean, that's
24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours.
But on top of that, are you still supposed to fast regularly, or how often are you supposed to fast?
Good question. So he teaches us that if you eat 24 hours, one meal every 24 hours, then after 30 days, then you are going to still have some toxins left in your body from the food, because it takes 24 to 36 hours to digest a meal. So after 30 days that is built up, you want to fast for 3 days to get that out. Now if you eat once every 2 days, which is 48 hours, then you don't have to go on that 3-day fast, because you're giving your body enough time to get rid of that meal before you eat again.
Okay. So you said that you believe Master Farah Muhammad. How did you word it again? I don't want to.
It's God in person. He is the second coming of Christ. that the Christians were say the Messiah, or the second coming of Christ, and he is what the Muslims call the Mahdi. All religious worlds are expecting and prophesy of his coming, and the Messiah is what the Christians call him, or the second coming of Christ, or the second coming of Jesus. And then the Muslims call him the Mahdi, Mahdi, meaning the guide.
Okay, so you believe in God is so you call him Allah though?
Yes, the messenger teaches that Allah is the proper name of God.
Okay.
And that we are all God, the black man in general, and that Master Farah Muhammad is the most high God.
Okay.
So he's the Allah, and we are all Allah. So when we say Allah, the messenger teaches, we're meaning all righteous Muslims. And when we say the supreme being, or the most high, we're referring to Master Farah Muhammad.
Okay. And the rumor I heard, is it accurate that Allah stands for arm, leg, arm, head?
Allah is the black man in general. So the black man does consist of an arm, leg, arm, head. So, I guess you can say that. But the original man is Allah, period. in every aspect of him, he is God.
So you believe in God? Do you believe in the devil or Satan, Lucifer, however you want to word it?
Well, the messenger teaches us that the Caucasian white man is the devil, and that the white race is the devil. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us, and that the black man in general is God and a direct descendant of God.
So how did Caucasians come about?
He teaches us, the messenger teaches us that a man by the name of Yaqub, which 8,400 years before, the scientists predicted that he would be born and that he would be the father of the white race, and that he would teach them how to rule us, his people, him and his people, for 6,000 years.
So white people only been around 6,000 years?
Yes, a little over now.
So how did they become white?
Yeah, how did their skin become white?
That happened to them. The messenger teaches in the grafting process. That goes to, he teaches that Caucasian is the quality, meaning the quality of the man, which is stale-faced and weak-boned. And through the grafting process, he became white, and his blood became weak, and his bones became weak, and he lost all pigment. He has no pigment, which is pale or Caucasian or white, as we refer to him, as he's referred to.
This deep. Wow. Okay, alright. So, just another random rumor I've heard. What is the mothership?
What is the mothership? That is you're asking some heavy, deep questions. But in the message to the black man, the messenger teaches us that the mother plane was built for the purpose of destroying this world and the devil's civilization. That it is in the Bible referred to in Ezekiel as the wheel in a wheel, and that you can go to the book of Ezekiel and he explains and prophesies of this mothership or mother plane or the wheel in a wheel, and it is a half mile by half mile, and it is no other plane in the universe like it. If you would hold on just a second, I will go to where the messenger speaks on it, and I will read a little bit of what he teaches on the mother plane.
Quick question. Do you mean America or Earth as a whole?
Good question. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that God, Master Farah Muhammad teaches him that, taught him that America was first on his list to be destroyed.
So you got like a hit list.
So to say, yes sir.
And as you looked that up, why was America called Babylon?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that Babylon was a prophecy, and Babylon was to describe America today and what they are and what they represent and what they're actually doing in our time.
Okay.
And he uses Babylon. He says the prophets pointed to Babylon and described Babylon as of America today.
And does this stand for like Baby London or something?
Baby London, that could be referred to as America was founded on with England or Britain's lower class of people.
Oh.
So it is, in a sense,
that's
a
why.
baby London, because they come or Christopher Columbus, or those people come from England or Britain, and they were the lower class who sought this land out, took it from the Indians, and so forth and so forth, as you know, the history.
And that's why America is called Babylon. Okay.
Ancient Babylon, yes. In the Bible, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, yes.
And the mothership is going to destroy America. That's what you're looking up.
Yes, I'm trying to answer your question and look and find it in the content. But yes, yes, sir. I'm about to find it. Just a second. The mother plane. So as you was asking me before about the mother plane, this is Battle in the Sky and Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm going to read just a little of the messenger explaining what the mother plane is. The vision of Ezekiel's wheel in a wheel in the sky is true if carefully understood. There is a similar wheel in the sky today which very well answers the description of Ezekiel's vision. This wheel corresponds in a way with the sphere of spheres called the universe. The maker of the universe is Allah God, the father of the black nation, which includes the brown, yellow, and red people. The great wheel, which many of us see in the sky today, is not such a wheel as one may think in such terms, but it's a place made like a wheel. The like of this wheel-like plane was never seen before. You cannot build one like it and get the same results. Your brains are limited. If you would make one to look like it, you could not get it off the earth into outer space. The similar Ezekiel's wheel is a masterpiece of mechanics. Maybe I should not say the wheel is similar to Ezekiel's vision of a wheel, but that Ezekiel's vision has become a reality. His vision of the wheel included hints on the great wisdom of Almighty God Allah, that really He is the maker of the universe, and reveals just where and how the decisive battle would take place in the sky. When guns and shells took the place of the sword, man's best defense against such weapons was a trench or ditch. Poison and gas, liquid fire brought him out. Today he has left the surface for the sky to destroy his enemy by dropping and exploding bombs on each other. All this was known in the days of Ezekiel, and God revealed it to him that Ezekiel we might know what to expect at the end of this world. The originator and his people, the black nation, are supremely wise. Today we see the white race preparing for the battle in the sky to determine who shall remain and rule this earth, black or white. In the battle between God and the disbelievers in the days of Noah, the victor's weapon was water. He used fire in the case of Sodom and Gomorrah. In the battle against Pharaoh, he used 10 different weapons, which include fire, water, hail, snow, stones, and great armies of the insect world, droughts, and finally plagued them with death. The Holy Quran says the chastisement of Pharaoh was like that which God would use against his enemies in the last days. Throughout the Bible and Holy Quran's teachings on the judgment and destruction of the enemies, fire will be used as the last weapon. The earth's greatest arms are fire and water. The whole of its atmosphere is made up of fire, water, and gases. It serves as a protected coat of arms against any fallen fragments from her neighbors. Ezekiel saw wheels in the middle of a wheel. This is true. The universe is made up of revolving spheres. There are wheels in the wheel. The present wheel-shaped plane, known as the mother of planes, is 1/2 mile by a 1/2 mile and is the largest mechanical man-made object in the sky. It is a small human planet made for the purpose of destroying the present world of the enemies of Allah. The cost to build such a plane is staggering. The finest brains were used to build it. It is capable of staying in outer space for 12 months at a time without coming into the Earth's gravity. It carried 1,500 bombing planes, which with most deadly explosives, the type of used in bringing up mountains on the Earth. The very same method it is to be used in the destruction of this world. And you can go get the message to the black man, and you can go further or go to the book of Ezekiel and go further into the teachings of the Mothership.
And so the teachings say that that's what we see in the sky. The UFOs and all that is the mother plane and the battleships. What are battle planes?
The baby planes.
Baby planes.
Which carry bombs. Each one carries 3 bombs on the baby planes.
And so that's what the teachings say. It's like the resurrection. They're going to bomb them.
Well, as I just read, it says it's going to be used to destroy the world today. That's what it's built for. For the destruction.
So pretty much like the resurrection.
Well,
what the resurrection is.
To be technically, yes, but as the messenger teaches, it has to be a resurrection before the judgment. So we will have a chance to accept this message or reject this message. Then God will destroy America.
Okay.
You see, but not without us giving a chance. That's the whole reason why he came and raised the Honorable Elijah Muhammed, to give us a chance to escape the fall of America, if we choose to, or we can choose to go on with America and suffer their doom, like the scriptures say a lot of us is going to do.
Okay, quick question. Does it say when the mothership was made?
Yes, I believe if we go further into this chapter, I believe in 1929.
Okay. That's
And
cool.
it took, and it teaches that in 1929, it actually says in 1929 is when it took
Flight. Okay.
There you go, yes sir. That's when it took flight in 1929. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammed, yeah. 1929 is when it took flight.
Why do Muslims change their name? That's something I wonder.
That's a good question. Well, as the messenger teaches us that in this, if we want to escape this destruction, that we have to separate ourselves and get out of Allah's way. And the way we do that, one is to get out of Christianity, the religion. 2, to get out of their name. And as the Bible tells you that God's coming back for those who are called by his name, right? So get out of his name, his religion, and his culture, his way of life. So he teaches us that we should get out of the names of the our former slave masters, to show that we no longer belong to the slave masters. Since we are 100 years up from slavery, and now we are so-called free, then we should go free entirely and not still wear the names of our former slave masters, which show that we belong to them.
Right.
So if we no longer belong to them, then we no longer need to wear their name, like we are still belong to them. And that we wear the X until you get your name from Allah. The X means unknown, meaning you don't know your attribute or name until you get it from Allah.
And how does he give it to you?
You write your letter to Master Farad Muhammad, and it is inspected by the laborers, and you recite the student enrollment and actual facts, and you receive your X without any mistakes, and you receive your X.
Okay.
And that is accepting your own. You are accepting your own, because the names that we were, as the messenger teaches us, were not even our names in the first place, and that they belong to our former slave masters to show that we belong to them. So if you belong to Johnson today, and you was being sold to Mr. Jones, then you would keep your surname, but then your last name will become Mr. Jones because you belong to Mr. Jones. So that is the names of, that's their names. That is not the names of our people. We did not come here with these names. So we need to give these names back if we want to, unless we want to be voluntary slaves.
Right.
Okay, no. Then we need to come out of the slave name.
So was slavery a choice?
Not for us, no. We was as the scripture, as the scripture says, man, in Genesis 15 and 13, that God told Abraham that we will be taken from our land, brought to a strange land, and enslaved for 400 years. And then after that, he would come himself and judge that nation. So this was not, we were kidnapped, okay, from our land and taken them against our will. We were actually tricked into coming over here. We were made to think that we were going to receive more gold than we were earning in our country. Of course, we already had gold, but the interpretation was that we're going to make even more over here. Yeah, so we were tricked. We did not come here. We were brought here, as the scriptures say we would be brought here.
Okay. So what's some of the do's and don'ts in Islam? Like, are y'all allowed to smoke weed, grow beards, and have tattoos? Or
Good question. Well, as you know, the body is a temple of God, so the tattoos, of course, are forbidden in Islam. Your body is the temple of God, so of course. As far as smoking weed, no smoking is permitted in Islam. Smoking is not natural. You know, your body is not designed to smoke. Your lungs is not designed to smoke, and makes you. We're taught to be clean inside and out, not just taking a shower and we're clean. We're taught to be clean on inside and outside. So we don't smoke. Smoking is not permitted. You said tattoos, smoking,
so
beards. Okay,
yeah,
the beards. That's a good
beards.
thing. I'm glad you asked. That's a good question, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammed teaches us that we to not grow beards, that we are to go clean shaven. That goes to the hygiene of being clean on the outside and inside. The beard shows savagery. Being a civilized man is clean shaven, basically, is what Mr. Muhammad teaches us, and that a lot of germs and stuff are in the beards. That's why they're called germ catchers. And like I said, that's a sign of a civilized man. It's clean shaven face.
Okay.
So I think, did I cover all those questions? Tattoos.
Yeah. What's some of the other don'ts, like what else is prohibited or forbidden?
Well, there's a lot of restricted laws in Islam.
That that's different from like the typical norms of what's right and wrong. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it's not too much really different from that.
well, like that's specific
because
to
that
Islam.
is Islam.
Like, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like I was saying before we was talking, the Bible really doesn't teach Christianity because none of the prophets taught Christianity. It was teaching Islam. It was just giving that interpretation. So like all the common sense, typical, don't kill your brother, don't steal from your brother. Basically, treat people the way you wanted to be treated. And the Messenger Muhammad teaches that, a real true Muslim wants for his brother what he wants for himself. So that's basically the same. You see what I'm saying? As far as like if you want to have a wife, you don't want your brother to sleep with your wife. You're not gonna sleep with his. You see what I'm saying? You don't want that for yourself, so you're not gonna, treat him that way. Stealing, like basically not being. You basically treat people like Jesus said. The golden rule: treat people the way you want to be treated, and that kind of covers most of everything.
Yeah, I think a better way to word it is like, what is something that Muslims don't do that normal people like
besides eating pork and like smoking and like things
the
like
average
that.
person does that teaches that Muslims teach is wrong, like eating pork and like stuff that typical people do, like smoke weed, like you got another example or something like that, grow beards.
Okay, yeah, and I covered that.
You covered the food.
Covered the food. Well,
What about
I can't say
phones and
this.
stuff like
I can't say this that separates us from everybody else. Allah just gave that to me. Is the whole concept of God. Period. Master Farah Muhammad is the only man that revealed to us that the reality of God. Before that, we were worshiping what he calls mystery gods, because he taught the messenger that a mystery is something that's unknown, that you don't know, and so all these gods, whether they were spirits, or ghosts, or whatever, those are not real. That's not reality. And Master Farah, in the Nation of Islam, we're the only one that the black man is God and not a spirit. That separates us from all other religions or theology, because everybody else really has a mystery God. They can't explain to you who their God is or what it is, because they say it's not a man. It's anything but a man, but we don't know what it is. So it's still a mystery, and we the only one that has a real God. We don't have a mystery God. We know who God is. The black man is God, and Master Farah Muhammad is the Most High God. Okay. So we know we're not praying to somebody who can't hear our prayers. Somebody is not living, or it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? And all other religions, they have a mystery God. That's a main difference that you know what I'm saying, that we stand out in. Yeah. Everybody else has a mystery God. We the only one that teaches the black man is God. Nobody else teaches that.
And how long can we live if we follow all the teachings, eat right, and...
Well, a messenger teaches that Allah taught him that we have no birth date, like death date, as far as a time where we, how our peoples say, you know, if it's our time to go, honey, it's our time to go. If it is, it is, and if it ain't, I ain't going nowhere. You know, he teaches that we don't have no certain time, that we kill ourselves by not knowing how to live.
So forever.
Not having the longest he teaches us that we have on record, and that's also in the Bible, is close to 1,000 years. That's the longest that any man or God has ever lived, is close to 1,000 years.
And how did he die? What did
he doesn't specify exactly how he died. Yeah, he doesn't specify exactly, but as far as being on record, that's the longest that any of us have lived. It's close to 1,000 years.
All right. Well, last question to wrap it up. Why is it important for black people to know the teachings of Islam?
You ended it on a very good, important question. The reason why the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is so important, my dear brothers and sisters, is because it is our only salvation. We have no other form or solution, program, theology, religion that's going to get us or allow us to escape the destruction of this world. We're victims of this world, so God is here and present now in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, and is inviting us back home so we will not take part in this destruction of this world, as Revelation also teaches us. And so the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our salvation. It is the solution to our problem. It is our only way out to escape the destruction of this world. So I would say that.
All right. Anything else you want to say to conclude?
Yes, I would like to shout out. I would, first of all, like to thank Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, for this opportunity, for raising the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to lead us, teach us, and guide us. Then I would also like to shout out to you, my brother, for giving me this opportunity to share the teachings with our people. And I would like to end in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.